Taxation without representation. We're all part of America now. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee, let's have a look at this article from RT about, well, YouTube is taxing all of us, or withholding tax for foreigners, foreign creators, myself included. I had a little message in my AdSense saying that I had to fill out all this IRS paperwork, everyone. That's punishment enough. You got to jump through hoops for our tax department. You got to jump through hoops for the American tax department. So they're withholding revenue. So let's have a look at this one, because it's gonna affect different creators differently. But essentially, it is any revenue you generate from viewers in the US, the American government is going to take taxes from you. You're going to be taxed on it. And depending on the different treaty arrangements your country has with the US and your situation will depend on how much money they are going to hold off you. So say if you're a creator in another country and you, a foreigner to the US, and you make a significant amount of your revenue from the US, they could be holding 24% or 30% of your tax aside. If you don't do the paperwork, they'll assume all of it's from America and they'll hold on to all of it, or to a big chunk of it. So this could be a big hit to people, and it kind of just slipped under the radar in some of their terms and policy changes recently. So there are a lot of unhappy creators, and it'll be interesting to see. Keep an eye out if some of your YouTubers that you watch, if they start complaining about revenue down, or if they're not getting any money, for they start amping up the affiliate links or donations or those type of things. I mean, I've done the paperwork and it will affect my revenue from the US. I get about 6% over the last year. 6% of the revenue from the channel has come from the US. So because I'm Australian, we've got a treaty, I think they'll hold 5%, or I'll be taxed 5%, depending on if it's a video like this or if it's a sticker that someone gives, those type of things. So in some ways it's fortunate that I have such a large viewer base here in Australia. But on my HeiseSays US channel, which is a higher proportion of US viewers, it's going to affect it too. And of course it fluctuates month to month, guys. So there you go. But I mean, you've got to understand my perspective. My working career has been as an architect running a small business. So simply not having to issue invoices, not having to make calls, not having to chase people to get paid. For me, this seems so novel, getting anything from YouTube. So I'm kind of damaged. So while other people will get outraged, I'm so damaged with having to chase people for 90 days payments. It just seems so much easier. So YouTube has told its content creators and partners that they will need to prepare for paying US taxes on their earnings, even if they live and work elsewhere. The already beleaguered video creators are taking it poorly. I mean, there are going to be some people that are going to just instantly lose 24% of their revenue for nothing. We're not getting represented by the, politicians in America. This is literally taxation without representation, everyone. We should get a vote then. Because they're gonna be YouTube creators, I bet you, foreigners, that probably pay more tax than some Americans. Just think about that. So guys, you're helping fund those Syrian bombs and those fatherless children. The video platform owned by Google actually updated its terms of service to tax US creators shortly after the 2020 election. But the change, there you go, it's Biden's fault, but the change went largely unnoticed in the uproar about censorship. On Tuesday, however, YouTube announced that the taxes will soon be taken out of earnings by creators outside of the US. Taxes will be deducted from earnings derived from US viewers through ad views, YouTube Premium, Snapchat, Super Stickers, and channel membership, the platform says. Okay. Google's support page explains that it will regard the revenue from the YouTube Partner Program monetization settings as royalties under the US tax code. just as it has been doing to US-based creators since November. Reactions to the announcement have been overwhelmingly negative. It's taxes, guys. No one loves them. Only the government love them. I mean, if only people would have realized that inflation is a hidden tax and they're already screwing us over like that anyway. What? I'm Canadian, working in Canada. You live under Trudeau, I feel sorry. Already have to pay Canadian taxes on every single dollar I make from YouTube. Why? What do you mean? They're gonna just milk you for all the money you want, mate. That's what taxes are. It's death and taxes. They're the two certainties. You know what you need to do? You need to move to Australia, and then the trick is you buy 15 houses, interest only, negative gear. So Jordan J. Sparks, better known as the dance coach, reacts. And here we go. Dankula got a feature. You know, fantastic. Imagine making me pay for drone strikes when I'm not even a US citizen, is how Scottish comedian Mark Count Dankula Meechan framed his criticism. Well, there you go. Good old Dank. It seems that even if you live outside the US, you are not a US citizen, and therefore owe the IRS no taxes, any money you make on YouTube from viewers based in the US could be subject to a new tax according to the latest YouTube update. Imagine making me paying for drone strikes even when I'm not a US citizen. There you go. There you go, guys. This is it. Just wait till we get central bank digital currencies all over the world, how easy it will be for the authorities to control and tax us. You take 45% of our earnings already, and you now expect us to pay tax, tweeted one UK creator, wondering why on earth should non-American creators pay tax to the American government when you're already taking a massive chunk of our AdSense. Well, yeah, so it's the breakup with the revenue share. 45% of it goes to YouTube. I mean, it's always been like that. I had another channel I did years ago, and it's still up, my Heise Education channel, or I think I've changed it to Heise Tutorials, where I just put up, you know, little Rivet and different tutorials when I was tutoring at university. I mean, you sign up to it. You don't have to pay for the hosting. They've got the system where they find the advertisers for you. You don't need to deal with that. They will find you viewers and have a platform. So I appreciate what we have. It's a good platform. There are alternatives going up trying to compete, which is good, which I encourage people to look at too, to kind of spread your content. There's some really good creators you can't find on YouTube anymore because they've been removed. Because YouTube wants to be mainstream and boring in many ways. If you just look at what the most popular videos are on YouTube, it ain't politics, guys, it ain't news. So, tax it from your own cut was another popular take, with another creator calling it a huge middle finger to creators who now have to pay double tax. Well, I mean, that's... Yeah, well, I'm not going to pay tax on the proportion of money that I send to that is already taken off me. I'll only pay on the amount that I get in the end. You know? At least that's what I'm assuming. I better talk to the accountant. Another major gripe of creators was that their own governments were already taxing their earnings, so YouTube's announcement amounted to double dipping. You know, well, that's life, guys. That's life. While some of the comments on Twitter suggested checking which countries had a tax treaty with the US to prevent dual taxation, there were a few who reasoned that the world needs a non-American website to do the same thing YouTube does. Well, this is the thing. I mean, are there any non-American ones starting up? They're more and more social media providers. How would it... Just think about how, at least in America, they have constitutional protection for freedom of speech. Could you run a platform like that here in Australia? How would it work? I mean, moderators here in Australia are personally liable for any comments people put on websites. So, Google, YouTube's parent company, has a long history of structuring its overseas operations to avoid paying tax, in particular in the EU itself, and opposing taxes. Countries such as Russia and India have tried to level on the Silicon Valley giant, the third biggest tech company in the world. So there we have it, everyone. All YouTube creators are going to be taxed, because apparently we're getting royalties from the US. I feel sorry for people who are really heavily dependent on their the American viewers, and there'll be a lot of them, because America's a huge market, everyone. There's certain with YouTube, how it works, depending on the location of your viewers affects how much ad revenue you get. Because here in Australia, there's a lot of YouTube advertising, and so it's pretty worth a fair bit. In America as well, it's worth a lot. The UK as well, it affects how much you get paid per ad rolls. And they're going to be people that have got big channels that are putting good content out, and they may live in another country, and they may not even be getting huge sums, but with the exchange rate, it's probably enough for them to have a comfortable living. And now they may lose a quarter of that. Kind of sucks. As always, guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Have you seen any creators that are getting in trouble because of this? Or are you a creator as well, and have you encountered it? I mean, should we as YouTube creators be getting a say in American politics? Maybe we should get a vote. What do you reckon? We're paying taxes. Maybe your vote should be tied to the taxes that you pay. I wonder how many Americans there wouldn't get to vote. I wonder how many Democrats wouldn't get to vote. We can't talk about that. That's politically incorrect. Anyway, guys, take care. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and enjoy the content I create here, there are a few ways you can support us. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links from Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or HeiseBroadband. Buy a merch from HeiseSays. Use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.